A lot of things you should keep in mind about the Galaxy Z Flip. For one, at $1,380, it is a little bit less expensive than the Motorola Razr, and to be completely honest, you do get so much more for it. Not only are you getting this bigger, more beautiful AMOLED display, it is completely covered in what Samsung calls flexible glass. And I have to tell you, I cannot stress this enough, the difference in the feel between the plastic Razr screen and the glass Galaxy Z Flip screen is night and day. And if you have the opportunity to touch both, there is no question the Galaxy wins every time. This is the first time we have seen that kind of flexible glass in use in a foldable, and it basically changes the game. No more plastic, janky displays. This is what you want, and this is what Samsung gave us. And in typical Samsung fashion, the panel itself under that flexible glass does look surprisingly good. As I mentioned, it is HDR10+ certified, and it's pretty easy to get your hand around because it runs at a super long 21.9:9 aspect ratio, which is a mouthful, but actually kind of what you want out of a foldable like this. It gives you plenty of screen when the thing is open, but it folds up into this really sweet little Game Boy Advance SP package when you're done with it. Samsung has also learned quite a bit about the foldable process in building the original Galaxy Fold, and we're benefiting from that learning in this new device. For example, the hinge has fibers to protect it from dust and particles from getting into the device, and the same sort of caps that we saw in the second generation Galaxy Fold redesign, well, those are here too. So it's tough to say exactly how durable this thing is going to be, but just based off of what Samsung has been through already and what we felt on site, it feels quite a bit better. Maybe more than anything, I think I'm struck by the difference in what Samsung has been able to squeeze into this device versus what Motorola did not that long ago. This is, like I said, a 6.7-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display. It looks really, really nice. It is HDR10 certified. It doesn't have the crazy 120 Hz refresh rate that you'd see in the Galaxy S20s, but considering the price and the size and everything, that was kind of not going to happen anyway. We are also looking at a pretty top-tier processor. It's not the latest and greatest. It's actually just a Snapdragon 855 with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, but again, look at what you're getting in the Razr with its 700 series processor, 6 gigs of RAM. It's why? No, you can't do it. Now, that's not to say the Razr completely loses out. I'm actually a really big fan of its larger external display. The one on the Galaxy Z Flip is really quite small and doesn't do much more than tell you what time it is and maybe shows you some notifications rolling in. I actually kind of wish they cooked up a way to keep that display on all the time because it's tiny and I just want to see what time it is. What's wrong with that? I do also think the Razr just flips open with just a little bit more panache. It feels a bit more like the classic flip phones of yore, which is the benchmark I'm working against, and I know that's not true of everybody. I will say, though, that the Galaxy Z Flip does a better job in terms of flexibility. There are discrete levels that you can lock the hinge at. If you wanted to prop the Z Flip up on a table, for instance, and use either the 12-megapixel standard camera or the 12-megapixel ultra-wide, you can just sort of prop the hinge up at a 90-degree angle and let her rip. It's actually really cool to see this in action too when you're holding the phone. When you actually bend it, the screen display shrinks and shifts to the top of the screen, which is a touch that I wouldn't have thought that I needed, but actually seems quite helpful. I think the difference in execution here is really something we need to contemplate, though. The Galaxy Z Flip, even though it might not be completely finished, these are demo units after all, it feels consumer ready in a way that the Motorola Razr just kind of doesn't yet. And maybe my opinion will change as I continue testing the Razr and the Flip for that matter, but we'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, as always, and for more coverage of the Galaxy Z Flip, the Galaxy S20s, the Ultras, all of that stuff, plus the Razr 2, if you're into that, be sure to keep it locked on Engadget.